So we normally start with PFTC, and the other transaction which is purely for layout development is SWDD. So let's see like what is the first thing is what is a workflow. Workflow is a business process automation tool. Okay, workflow is a business process automation tool, and we are going to use for document approvals. You can see a small workflow here which is being given. It's a graphical layout. Suppose if you would like to add some more layout elements, here you can see steps that can be inserted. Here you can see all the elements. So first of all, what is a workflow? Workflow is a graphical ABAP program. Okay, workflow is a graphical ABAP program. So how to start a workflow? Okay, we are saying that workflow is a graphical ABAP program. How to start the workflow? So to start the workflow, what we require is we require a source program, which is our transaction like sales order, purchase order, which can be connected. So I'll just put some this here. This is the same thing which I was about to show you. So we have SAP transaction with the help of BADI or user exit or any enhancement framework technique with a BO event, and finally you are going to start the workflow. And what we are saying, workflow is a graphical ABAP program which is used for document approvals. It can be used for any other processing also. The main thing is for your document approvals. So the flow is SAP transaction triggering BADI. The BADI is triggering BO event. BO event is going to use for starting the workflow. And if you see the T codes here, the SAP transaction VA01 and BADI or transaction SC18, SC19, user exit, CMOD, SMOD, or enhancement framework SC80. You can take one of the techniques and then trigger the event which is developed in a transaction SW01 and start the workflow. Workflow is here SWDD, and internally you can write the code which is going to be written in the method. That method can call our transaction which is for screens, the module pool screen. Module pool screen can be called from the method which you link it in the layout of the workflow. So any questions here? We are saying that workflow is used for document approvals. Workflow is used for process automation. Any questions till here? So Mesh, at least you can be interactive. The other guys, I am not seeing them. You can just ask parallelly like what all the general doubts you have. Let others at least listen like what we are trying to interact. And if anybody has any doubts, they can also ask. So what is our first priority? We were saying that workflow is a business process automation tool. And what is the T codes which we are using? PFTC, and the other T code is SWDT. And the other point which I was saying is workflow is a graphical program to automate your business process. Okay, it's a chain of transactions. Some transactions will be foreground, some transactions are background. So any questions till here? Any questions? Okay, so now let's see. I was just saying that business process or the workflow is a chain of transactions. Some transactions are foreground and some transactions are executed in background. So if it is background, we know that it is going to be executed by system and a user ID called WF-batch. This user is used WF-batch. Normally, where do you see WF-batch? If I go to our transaction SU01, if you go to SU01 and the user WF-batch. So this user is used for background executions. It's a system user. Okay, this is used for background processing. And for the front end foreground processing, we require our inbox. The inbox transaction is SBWP. SBWP. So SBWP is for the foreground inbox transaction executions. Normally we receive emails. Those emails can be opened and those emails will be seen here in the inbox. In the inbox, we have a folder called workflow folder. From here, if I process it, if I execute it, I'll be having the method being called. The method will have the ABAP code. ABAP code, what does it contain? The call to a transaction. Call transaction syntax will be written in our method. Next. So you know that workflow is going to be a chain of the flowchart of transactions. One transaction will be foreground, another transaction can be background. Here it can have foreground, another transaction can be background. So we need to design saying that after one transaction, what is the next transaction to be processed, where the next transaction can be foreground or background. If it is foreground, one mail will be sent that you are responsible for doing this. Please execute the transaction. And if it is background, system will execute automatically in 1 second. Next. So any questions still here? What is a workflow? Workflow is a graphical ABAP program. Some transactions can be foreground, some transactions can be background. Foreground transactions will be executed from the SAP inbox. What is our SAP inbox transaction I have shown you? SPWP. Okay, SPWP. And okay, I'll just put here SPWP. Background transactions, system will execute it. And what is the inner processing? How to start the workflow? From your original transaction like VA01, ME22N or ME21, the body is going to be written so that the BO event will be triggered. Event is going to start the workflow. Any questions still here?
No questions.
Okay. Now let's see like what is the other details. Let me just go ahead with this. So types of workflows. There are two types of workflows. Workflow template, workflow task. Workflow template is client independent workflow. Okay, like visible in all clients. Workflow task is client dependent workflow, visible only in the client which you have created. So where can we see this? If I go for our transaction, PFTC, transaction PFTC, here you can see the options, workflow template, workflow task, task group, standard task, customer task. So in workflow there are two types, workflow template, workflow task. And what is the difference I was saying? One is client independent, other is client dependent. Client dependent is obsolete now. Okay, obsolete. Workflow task is obsolete. What we are going to use now currently is only workflow template. Next, apart from this, what are the other task types you can see here? Standard task. Did you see standard task in our list here? Let's go and see standard task, customer task. Let's see this difference. When you say standard task, it is used to call ABAP code. Where is ABAP code? ABAP code is in a method. Similarly, customer task, it is also used to call ABAP code, which is required for our processing. And where is it written in? Method. And what is the difference? One is client independent, the other is client dependent. So client dependent element is obsolete. So what is the only task which we have here is standard task. This is being obsolete. So we are going to have workflow template is available, standard task is available. Next, the last element here, task group. Task group is a group of workflows. Okay, purely used for workflow or reports. Do you see in our task group here in our list? So the last one, task group is a group of workflows. Next. So I just started with discussing that what is a standard task, customer task. These are used to call methods. These are used to call ABAP code. These are used for layout development, workflow template, workflow task, and task group is a group of workflows. And mainly, what is the purpose of workflow? Workflow is used for document approvals. What are the best examples like this? You can go for leave approval. Okay, I gave some of the examples here. Just see this. Okay, how we use workflow in company. What are the best examples like PO approval, sales order approval, leave approval, travel form approval, invoice approval, production order approval, delivery approval, maintenance, payment run, WBS element, vendor, customer credit limit check. These are some of the examples where we can use our workflow. So every module we require workflow. So we know that what is a workflow and how we link our workflow from our main transaction and what is the application of workflow. Any questions till here? I can see so many of them. All of you can unmute yourself and ask some doubts or any questions you have. You can reply, respond. Any questions still here? Only I
No
can see
questions from my
Somesh.
side, RS.
Yeah, yeah. How about the others? Ramesh, Srinivas. At least the day one when the session, this demo session, right? You can be interactive to understand you better. You can ask in Telugu also if you are local guys. You can ask in Telugu. I can respond to you in at least in the English for the question which you have asked. Next, what are the prerequisites for learning this? Okay, I can say that it's a normal ABAP is sufficient, core ABAP is sufficient, and you don't require much knowledge of OOPS because I am going to teach that what is the basics which are required. We cover up like what is a method, how to develop a method, how to create the business object which is required. So we need not worry about that somebody doesn't know OOPS and shall he go for overflow or not? Yes, you can go ahead, no problem. Yeah. And still some more details. Let's see. Let's go and show you some more details. If you go for our tools, business workflow, here we have all the related transactions for our, you see here definition tools, runtime tools, reporting tools, utilities, and then administration. There are some of the tools which we are going to see here. Some of the workflow related definition tools, reporting tools, okay, administration. Here you are going to have the basic runtime related workflow administrations, workflow work items without agents, work items with the deleted user IDs, workflow restart after error. Suppose if I would like to go for, if any workflow is in the error mode, we can try to restart. So I'll put some duration validity period, some 17 and say, here you can see all the workflows which are in the error mode. So if you want to restart, there is a button here, okay, you can just restart. But this is not going to help you. First, we need to understand what is the problem. Then we can correct it correctly. Currently, do you see it says that restarted. Other way around, what you need to do, go to the log and understand what is the problem. Every workflow will have a workflow log. So here you can just see, like suppose it says that there is some error. So what I'm going to do is that I'll select that particular step where the workflow went into error. I'll go for, okay, go to technical work item display, extras, activate administration, and then I'm going to have the option start execution after error. If I want to change the memory values, I have the option here. Suppose I would like to change some values. Suppose, do you see if there is anything which I can change? Let me just, for a sample one, I'll just make some changes. Okay, and the last letter I have changed. Just see whether it is changed to E. Yeah, do you see here? It is changed, and then I can reprocess it. So some variable, some data is missing, then you can process it. I'm clicking execute, and then let's see if it is getting executed. Okay, I think that's some other problem. This is because these are all the existing, somebody has started these workflows, so it says completed. So if you want to see the workflow log, there's a T code here, SWI2 underscore FREQ. Workflow log, last 365 days, if there are any workflows which have been started, you can see here. Here you can see all the workflows which have been started. Okay, these are the workflows. Approve PO. You can see some are completed, some are processed. From here, how do you go to the log? There's a button here, workflow log. And for restart, what is the T code I was saying? SWPR, workflow restart after error. Apart from this, there are some workflow customizations. Okay, SWU3. Okay, let's see this SWU3. We need to do some customization settings. The T code is SWU3. Any questions still here? Ramesh, Somesh,
There
Srinivas.
is one question.
Yeah, you have any questions here? Yeah. So here you can
Yes,
see the
actually, I wanted to know
yes
what is workflow reporting?
workflow reporting. Okay, so whenever you go, let's go to the workflow reporting and show you. Okay, where is our SW11? Let's see. This is SWI11. This is a various list, like normal above various list for workflows also. We have SWI5. Let's see what is this. Do you see this workload analysis? Workload analysis. What are the types of reporting which you can use here? Completed work items or work items to be completed. Okay, completed work items or work items to be completed by a person. Work item is a transaction to be performed by a person is nothing but a work item. Okay, so transactions to be processed, transactions already completed. So same thing I'll show you from the workflow. Let's go and see where is our reporting. Okay, our reporting here. You can see the same which I was showing you, work items per task. This is used to connect to the workflow log, work item analysis. Similarly, you are going to have workload analysis. The same I was saying that completed work items to be completed. Now let's take in general what is the workflow reporting part. Whenever you work for a workflow as a workflow consultant, you will be given one ALV report which you need to develop. That ALV report should have which documents have been started, those documents which have started the workflow, and if you double click, it should give the option to move for giving the details of that particular document, like purchase order, sales order, okay, and so on. From there, it should connect to our workflow log. So from workflow, from the ALV report, it should connect to the workflow log. Now, next. So any questions? Is this fine or any more details on that workflow reporting part?
Can you repeat once again? So I missed
Yes,
the content.
right. Okay, so let us pick up any ALV report. Okay, let me type like this so that you can better understand.
Yeah,
We
please.
have an Excel sheet. I'll pick up one Excel sheet. You, all of you are ABAP guys, so you know that there is a ALV report which you can develop,
Yep.
and then we'll put an interactive. Suppose I'll have like this. I have sales order number, okay, and then who is the related customer, and then I'll give for that particular sales order number what is the workflow number. Normally we call them as workflow runtime generated ID. So I'll just call it as work item ID, workflow work item ID, and what is the status of it, whether that workflow is processed and what is the status, and so on. You'll have so many details. So if I double click this workflow work item ID, it should go to workflow log. Okay, from here it should go to double click, it should go to workflow log. Which log is that? If I show you that workflow log, I'll just pick up this as WI2 underscore FREQ. So it should go to the log which is going to be shown like this. I'll just pick up this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let us pick up one of this here. So it should come to this screen. Where is this? So this screen which is there, from your ALV report, it should connect to this screen which you are seeing here, workflow log. Normally what you do is that there is a function module. Let us see if I can just remember that. SWW. Let's see. Log. Let's see if there is anything. Work item. I can see log read. If I just process it, let's see. So it's asking for work item ID. Let me give if there is any work item ID from here. So you need to just pass the work item ID so that it will pick up the related workflow for that sales order. So if I pick up one, let me pick up one of these IDs and see. Let me just say not today, last 30 days. I want to pick up one ID and see whether it is moving there or not. So let's see, I don't see the ID here. I'll just pick up the ID. 1746646. So let us go for 1746646. Let me just delete, process it. It's giving a different option. There should be one more function module for this, which is going to connect to the workflow log directly. So SC37, let's see if the SWW, let's see. So that you can directly call from our ALV report. Okay, from the ALV report, we can directly pick up that particular. Okay, we'll come back to that, which is the function module which is used. So workflow log can be just pulled from the ALV report, so that what it is going to happen is, suppose 5 sales orders are created, and then we need to know whether they are already approved or not. Those can be seen in the ALV report. And to get more details, you can click the link. It will go to the workflow log and see where it is, at what point the approval is going on, and where it is pending, from which person, and so on. So any questions here in this ALV report, the reporting part of workflow?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, okay. So we'll just come back. Okay, I'll give that ALV report which we normally develop so that we can see the code behind that reporting part. Next. Similarly, I would like to show you there's a transaction SCOT, the SCOT transaction where the Outlook server is configured. The basis person is going to configure it, saying that what is the email host and the related port number. They are going to configure it so that the mails will go out. Okay. So SCOT is our transaction which is to be handled by the system administrators, and what we need to make sure is, if you go to the another transaction, SOST is our transaction for the emails which are to go out. Okay, SOST, the mail should go out, some will be waiting, so we need to schedule a batch program which is going to send all the mails out of this. So if you want to send all the mails, normally what we have to do is, one is to go for this menu path, this manual way of sending. Okay, manually flushing out of the SAP server tool. Other way around, you can go for this program. If I go to this, okay, RS, okay, CONN01, there is one program here. This is a different 01. So background program, if you schedule, all the mails will be automatically sent out so that we need not manually push them daily or okay. So from our side, we write a program, but those mails should go out to the target email IDs. So for that, we need to schedule a job so that the mails will go out automatically based on the duration which we normally recommend for 3 minutes. Every 3 minutes, the mails will go out which are being created from any of your programs. So any questions till here? So system administrator has to configure the Outlook server, and then he should also create the jobs which are to be, so that the mails will go out of your SAP server. Next. So we were discussing about what is a workflow. Workflow is a business process automation tool. Workflow is a web program. It has its own memory. It is used to develop. Okay, it is developed using a transaction. SWDD. Why Workflow is used? Why Workflow is used for document approvals. Okay, it can be used for ELA, doc error handling, process automation, notifications, sending reminders, and escalations. And where the workflow is used? Workflow is used in all modules like PO approval, sales order, leave, HR related. It could be a travel form, leave form. It can be used for finance, invoice approval workflow. Okay, related to plant maintenance, related to master data like vendor master approval. These are some of the examples where we can use workflow.
We are going to cover all these topics.
Yes, yes. That's why I've added here. Okay, so in that, there are some of the areas where we are going to cover up in our workflow syllabus. Did you collect the soft copy? Did you get the soft copy of syllabus?
I've seen in the website content only, but I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, you can put a request for that, and then I think they'll give you the syllabus sheet.
Okay.
And then finally you can track, and then we can go as per that particular syllabus. And okay, so any other questions you had? So these are the okay. What are the prerequisites? I said at least normal BAP is required, and the duration can go for 4 to 5 weeks with Monday to Friday. And if somebody is from different place, you can plan to like Monday to Saturday based on your comfortness. The whole batch should decide whether you want 6 days or 5 days per week, and then we can complete the syllabus accordingly. Yeah, any questions? Yeah.
Syllabus will, how long it will take to complete this?
Yeah, 4 to 5 weeks.
Okay. Is there weekend classes are there or weekdays?
Till Friday, and if you want on Saturday, we need to decide that yes, we require on Saturday also.
Okay.
Okay, the complete batch should say all of you are available. Then we'll take on Saturday. All of you are out of station. Then we'll not take.
What extra benefits we will get regarding that? Whether we will get video things after we complete the course, or do we get video?
I think they'll share this classroom session for a given period, so that they give a URL link so that you can revisit this session which has been completed. And I think they have some validity period for how many days it is valid, so that you can understand it one more time, 3 times, like in whenever. Suppose today you are busy, you are not able to concentrate. Again, you can go through it like in today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, like this. There's some validity period. You can re-listen, and after that, I think if somebody still wants, I think they might have some cutover period of some 3 months or something. Later, if still you want to listen to those videos, they might ask for some other charges. But they have some limited period, like 2-3 months, I think. I don't remember like how much time they give for going through that same session which has been done.
Okay.
So you don't have the problem. Only like they give some limited time period during which you can revisit the same videos again. Suppose 3 sessions you did not attend. All 3 sessions, what you can do, you have a link for it, and then you need to connect to their internet site, and then suppose session 1, you can listen. After 1 hour again, you attend the link again for the session 2. All 3, like when you are free, you can again re-listen them. Only thing is that it is automated now. If it is a live session, you can ask questions. There it is like it's already generated video.
Okay.
Okay, so that provision is given. So even if you miss some session, you can go through that from the internet site of this institute. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So same voice and everything will be clear. So video will be in that.
This is the thing I don't like it actually. Most of the online trainings they will give provide videos directly you can download.
Yeah,
to the URL.
yes, but our guys, this is a problem. What they do, they sell it for okay, for the other institutes and create nuisance. That's why we avoid it.
I don't know that one.
Yeah.
What
So
right?
many.
We struggling to listen in website.
Yes,
This will
yes.
take streaming something. It's sometimes
Yeah.
so good,
Yeah, I understand.
and
Yes,
we
but
cannot forward also. We cannot stick to that also.
that's why better.
That side is very
Yeah,
difficult.
right. Recommended is to attend the sessions as it is when the sessions are going on. And if you miss the session, it is given a provision as an option. And the main problem is that you have this kind of, okay, the local market is that, okay, they just fluctuate, they sell. These are all the practical problems which we face.
If they
So what?
want, I don't know that if they want to misuse these things, they
Mm,
can do anything.
yes,
I
yes,
understand it.
yes.
I don't know why
That's why
they keep the
whatever.
restrictions. I don't know that
That's
one.
yeah. That's why what they do is that they give the URL link so that you can reconnect and understand that session which you have missed.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, that's a restriction what they have given the institute team.
Mhm.
So most probably, I think it should be much clear. Unless you are okay, like you are occupied with any other things during that day session, maybe we
Mhm.
can just again summarize that. Okay, what happened the last session, so that you have that continuity.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah. So most probably you don't face a problem. But unless suppose completely like 1 week you are lost, then you can join in the next batch. Suppose if there is anything delay, like you have much work in the company,
Mhm.
they'll allocate like that. Yeah.
But here you mentioned something in the content in the,
Yes. Yeah. Tell me.
but you haven't mentioned everything whatever in the course catalog, right? Here.
Yes. It's a summary, right? Whenever it's a syllabus sheet, it is going to be like a summary of like what we discuss, and we go in detail. Once you topic by topic, we will go in detail and then discuss about that on the hands-on. Okay, we will take the system and then do the practical online. Okay.
How it
Yeah.
will be practical sessions? That my question here.
Yes. Okay. Suppose if I go here, okay. Suppose I want to do some programming. So what I will be going for if I go for PFTC.
Mhm.
So I want to develop a workflow. So I'll be going for workflow template, and parallel you can, if you are having a scribbling pad, you can note down the steps also parallel. Suppose if I say PO approval workflow.
My
Okay.
question is
Suppose
that is there any documented for whatever teaching that so there is a document and documentation is available or not?
no. It's like a online when I am discussing parallel. You can note down some important points. That's one. Okay.
Mhm.
And then you can note down. Suppose you are stuck up. I am giving some menu path here, and then I give some options so that you can note down this menu path.
Okay.
Okay. And other option is that after the session, same session will be uploaded into the internet site. And then suppose you miss this menu path, you can revisit that same video and you can note down that menu path which we are discussing.
Means whenever we have doubt and we have to go to video and we have to listen every time.
Yes. But better attend correctly. It's like almost like you
No,
are
what
sitting in
my
a
question is that
classroom.
in future I have some doubt. So at
Yes.
the time a video will not be available, even though we
Yeah.
don't have document to go through it also.
Right. Better note down correctly, like as if it's almost like you are in a classroom session. If you are in a classroom session and you are noting down step by step,
But even though
and you
classroom
are,
session, at least they will provide materials, right?
yeah, you can have a soft copy here. We'll give a soft copy material to you. Soft
Okay.
copy of what? The related material, the documents.
Okay.
Okay. But it might not be like this. Suppose if I am giving you this, so we go to this binding and so on. It might not be related to this. It could be a generic one. Okay.
Generic one we can buy outside also, right?
General, that's why see if you pay, like it depends on how much you are paying. Based on that, they might charge you more. Like you want all this like spoon feeding, this they might charge you more like this if you want. Okay, like this. Okay.
Okay.
So Okay, so some of the possibility, whatever which is possible, they are going to give you. Some things which can be like, okay, which is not possible, they might not give you. Okay, like completely as it is, like what you are expecting, I understand. It's like, okay, spoon as it is, go to meeting, that also you want as a screenshot in your material. Okay, so that is not there currently, and then I don't know, like whether they can provide this or not, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but why should I ask you, right? So actually, so many trainings they giving the documentation through
Yes,
navigation.
yes,
That
right,
actually
right.
that is a very good way of getting the training
Good
also.
way, good way. Fine, fine. But it depends upon the constraints which you have. Okay, so then they might not have such as okay the complete detailed what you're expecting. First thing is that if you understand the concept in detail, parallelly, like the flow is like you are almost like a classroom session. Classroom session, you are noting down step by step, and then you are listening correctly, thoroughly. That is the agenda. And since this is you might be located in a different place, and then this online session should help you. That is the agenda. Maybe like what you are expecting, they might charge you more. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Like where are you located? Is it in which place?
You are in Dallas.
Okay, okay. Fine, I understand. Okay. Right, no problem. So let's see. Like, how about the others? Anybody else has some doubts? Somesh, Moni Reddy, any questions about the others? Any other questions we have? So let's see this. Okay. So most probably like since all of you are in a ABAP area, it is very easy to understand. Okay, unless you are not concentrating. And parallelly, the sessions will be uploaded. And I think there is some option here, as you were asking. There is some e-learning course, which is going to be like the same, which is going to be for a longer duration. Longer duration means after some 6 months, again you want to go through that. Rather than attending the live classes, you can go through the same sessions which has happened, which is going to be like automated sessions, which you can directly attend. For that, they may charge something. Yeah. So, any other doubts you have till here? Okay, so we'll stop here for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Okay. Yeah.